Hello, World Wide Web. I'm Dr. Shado, the internet personality with the best hair. Today, we're going to look at The Quest. No, not the 1976 Western series starring Kurt Russell, or the 1986 kids movie starring Henry Thomas, or the 2006 documentary. No, we're going to look at the 1996 movie starring none other than Jean-Claude Van Damme. It's been a while since my last Van Damme review, and we've seen him work well in some movies and not so much in others, with a good indicator of quality seeming to be whether or not it came out in his post-Street Fighter slump. Which this movie did, but then again, he can surprise us with some enjoyable films, depending on who exactly is directing, and for this film, he went to the best director he knew. Himself. Written by himself and Frank Dux, The Quest is about an American man who ends up fighting in an underground martial arts tournament against the best fighters from all over the world, and... Well, hold on just a fucking minute. Did I put on Bloodsport by mistake? No? No, this is The Quest. Anyway, let's take a look at The Quest and see if I accidentally put in the wrong DVD. The film opens up to an old man ordering the coffee that was left under the counter, but, oh no! Young people have entered this very unpopular establishment.
You should leave.
I thought I heard an echo. Did you hear an echo?
The fuck? This is The Quest 1996, right? Not, 2036. Van Damme uses the cranky monkey style to beat the crap out of the very ill-prepared robbers, much to the bartender's astonishment, giving us our lead-in to the main events.
Where did you learn to fight like that?
It was long ago.
Can't anyone ever answer that question? Oh, just a few hours ago. They had a Jackie Chan marathon on HBO. The intro shows a bunch of scrolls carried out of Tibet, hand-delivered to fighters and racial stereotypes from all over the world.
Participate in a test of skill and courage against the greatest fighters being assembled from the four corners.
You know, in 1925, better cartography techniques did exist. And telephones. But Van Damme isn't one of our lucky recipients this time, as he decides to spend the beginning of this movie clowning around.
Dubois, I want you and your kids off the street. I mean it, Dubois.
What exactly has he done that the police are so offended by his presence? And know him by name? Well, I guess diplomacy is out of the equation now. Van Damme, playing the role of Christopher Dubois, increases his bounty considerably before escaping, while one of his gang kids sneaks into a local gangster's office, easily stealing the unguarded bag of money.
Hey, what are you doing?
Looking for a toilet?
There's no toilet. Get lost.
I'm not sure which is harder to believe, that the gangsters don't care about the kid walking out of their headquarters with a bag of cash, or that they don't have toilets. Upon returning to their hideout in a warehouse, the kids make with the cash.
If we want something, we take it. Forever and ever.
And if we're not sure we want it, we rent it. For a week or two. A week or two! They get food and celebrate, but don't think they'll find any better or safer place to spend the night, as it turns out gangsters aren't very happy when you steal their money, and despite this being a PG-13 film, it's still okay to shoot at kids, so long as you don't actually hit them. Never mind, I guess it's okay to shoot kids too. Damn, Van Damme, what did little Billy do to piss you off?
The cops are gonna blame you, Chris.
You wrote this scene! You directed it! They'll kill you! You wrote that too!
They're gonna kill you! Get out of here!
See? He runs, and fortunately these police have the visual range of the guards in Metal Gear Solid and are twice as deaf as they don't notice him grunting and hanging from a crane, which fortunately the operator doesn't notice either, allowing him to stow away on a boat.
What is this?
The ocean. The Pacific, I believe. Yeah, just his luck, this is a pirate ship! And of course they allow him to live only to be a servant. Okay, now you just gotta take your pick of the goods and kill everyone who stands in your way.
I come to say goodbye. It's a shame. I'm sure the sharks will enjoy you.
Or you could just be sure to be punctual for your execution. But it's been 30 seconds, so it's time for another course-altering event as the pirates are besieged by another ship led by Lord Edgar Dobbs and his sidekick Harry Smith, played by Roger Moore, and Jack McGee, respectively. They free him and bring him along to Mutai Island, promising him he'll find a ship back to America while there.
Oh, Chris, Carl here was saying he's going to make sure you catch the boat that comes here from the States next month.
Dopsy.
Yes. Carl, I suggest we step inside.
Dopsy.
Wait here, kid. We're gonna fix you up nice with our friends here.
I don't know. Good guys don't usually tag around with gruff and/or stupid sidekicks. Of course, Dobbs actually sells Dubois to the old man as a fighter, telling him the ship to America is coming in 2 weeks. Think it crossed his mind yet that maybe they lied to him? We find Dobbs and Harry in Bangkok trying to get laid, which introduces us to Janet Gunn playing the role of Carrie Newton.
I'm here on assignment.
An assignment? Like a journalist?
Yes, New York Globe.
New York Globe, huh?
You might be thinking that this is just like Bloodsport, but you have to remember, Jennings went there specifically looking for the kumite. Carrie here just showed up and happens to be a journalist. That's much stupider. While trying to get in her pants, they treat her to a Muay Thai tournament, and who in there would happen to show up but that milk they left in the back of the fridge, Chris Dubois. Fucking A, he's high level! Naturally, our crooks want to get out, but of course Van Damme blocks their escape.
You owe me.
What do you want?
The Golden Dragon.
Golden what?
The best fighters will meet to compete in secret for a big dragon made of solid gold.
Solid gold.
Imagine their disappointment when they find out it's made of solid dark chocolate with a gold foil wrapper. This is enough to get them to become partners with Chris, but they still have to figure out how to get to the tournament. Evidently, it's invitation only, and the invitations and questions have maps on them that lead you to the Lost City, which somehow has managed to stay hidden in the Industrial Age. But for some reason, Carrie is part of the team now and uses her powers of journalism to find out that an American boxer is heading for the contest, and fortunately, she also doesn't mind assaulting his valets in order to get the story of the Gangan.
All that will be on his mind is fighting. Miss Newton is off getting her story of the century, and in the meantime, you, Harry, and yours truly will be devising ways and means of stealing the dragon.
Yeah. Sounds good to me.
Yeah, 3 guys in the middle of nowhere trying to steal a golden dragon that weighs God knows how much while surrounded by the world's most powerful fighters. What could possibly go wrong?
It is perfect.
Just like that time I sold you to the island, fellow. Never did come back to bite me on the ass now, did it? After a long series of transition scenes, with occasional comic relief from Harry,
Man, boss, these elephants are busting my rump.
they reach the official Gangang Denny's, where every fighter evidently must stop to eat, including the one who was actually selected from Chris's island home, and obvious final match.
Hey, pal. Scram.
Not the most talkative, but I admire the clarity in which he gets his points across. Hey, antagonist, how's the weather? Family? Okay, wanna watch Alien Origin with me? The next morning, Maxie isn't too happy as the punch knocked more sense into him than one would think possible, allowing him to realize that his guys are crooks, trying to sneak their own way into the tournament. This leads to a very short fight.
Maxie. No more. No more.
Friendship. Friendship?
Not one to hold the plot back due to this minor, or ridiculously major detail, he gives Van Damme the invitation and quits the contest before it even starts. I know it sucks to get your ass kicked twice in a row, but it's not the end of the world, just do what I do. Blame it on class balance or lag and get back in the fray. Don't rage quit. Now with the map in hand, they reach the temple and pretend that Chris is the boxing champ Maxie Divine. Fortunately for them, television hasn't been invented yet.
Welcome to Gun King.
Don't know why he needed the overt cue the gong motion, but whatever. They have their roll call, but when they call Maxie Divine, he shows up.
That's me. Maxie Divine, heavyweight champion of the world.
Also a very impressive navigator. Didn't even need the invitation map to get the rest of the way there. Or in. It turns out he showed up to honestly turn his entry over to Chris, as he recognizes that Dubois is a better fighter than himself.
Dubois will be granted a chance to prove if he is a worthy combatant in the first round. If not, Maxie Divine shall pay the penalty and never leave the Lost City.
Seems a bit harsh. Couldn't you just charge a small transference fee? Or you could just cue the gong again. Without much ado, the opening fights are underway.
I wish you well.
Cue the gong. Need something.
Everybody was kung fu fighting. Those kids were fast as lightning.
Definitely not.
Body's ready, my heart's on fire. Gonna push you over the wire. Perfect timing, tight as a drum. Your final battle's already won. I'm taking hold.
There we go. Cue the gong.
I'll fight to survive.
When it comes time for Chris's matchup against a fighter from Germany, it's a reasonably exciting match, but it does follow the predictable formula of the opponent taking bad hits but getting back up, Van Damme being knocked down, losing all hope but regaining his strength, the struggle, then the one strike that just lays the opponent out. And the, by the way, I'm going to be in the final match. Just so you know.
Japan against Turkey!
Holy shit, there's no way that guy's gonna have any problem with Turkey. See? The fighting continues for a while and is reasonably entertaining, and of course the final boss goes against one of Chris's island friends, and the obvious happens.
No!
Hey, not cool, man. This is a PG-13 film. You're not supposed to do that. Van Damme shows his anger by slapping him in the man boob? Oh, and swearing revenge. For his longtime buddy, from his slave days, who he never saw. The fuck was his name? After some more fighting, the crooks decide it's time to steal the Golden Dragon, so they get a blimp and tie a rope to the statue? Really? You're going to go into cartoon villain territory with this?
What about me?
Yes, they really are. Okay, fuck it. When are the anthropomorphic dogs going to come out and save the day with their rings of power? Close enough. They're captured, and naturally they are sentenced to death, but Chris declares the whole situation his fault and said that if he wins, in exchange for their lives, he will not take the Golden Dragon. As money makes the world go round, they accept these terms. So now he's fighting for a strange fighter's pride that came out of nowhere, his dead friend who never knew anything about, and the two crooks who sold him earlier as a slave. Couldn't they just give him, what, one good reason instead of a bunch of shitty ones? As the gong is cued, the fight is on, and as always, Van Damme completely forgets how to block or dodge in the beginning of the fight. Oh shit, he lost.
Get up!
Wait, what the fuck are you doing? You knocked him out of the ring. He lost. Okay, then what the fuck was the point of the ring? Anyway, their fight pours out into the street, and Van Damme continues to get his ass kicked, and of course, after it's pounded enough, he remembers how to dodge and strike, laying on the final boss with a flurry of punches, but he's got too many hit points for that to work, so he spams the same attack, cheesily winning the fight. And as far as final battles go, it was, meh. The last boss had no personality, and Chris's reasons for fighting were so poor, they only really work in a theme park-style MMORPG where the adventurers don't really care what their quest giver's motivations are, they just do whatever the hell he says for the XP. Thus brings us our ending, as the elderly Van Damme finishes his tale in a Where Are They Now style, showing everyone else live mediocre lives. And a journalist means a novelist. And when the fuck was the narrative being read from a book? Well, that was The Quest. The Quest 1996. And, it's an enjoyable movie. A great movie? Oh, hell no. But enjoyable. Good? That's kind of pushing it. As the first film directed by Jean-Claude Van Damme, the second being Soldiers in 2010, it's shot pretty well and has a professional look to it. Unfortunately, no matter how nice the angles were, you can't do much with this script, which is also the fault of Van Damme. It's too easy to make a pun on the title. The Quest in particular is Van Damme's for a good movie after Street Fighter, so he went back to what got him worldwide recognition and simply did Bloodsport again. Only this time rated PG-13 and even less believable. The tournament and huge solid gold dragon prize? No, I'm okay with that. It's the ridiculous series of events that just so happen to put Van Damme's character right where he needs to be in the downright cartoony support cast. Not all movies have to be serious, but it's hard to tell if this one was trying or not. You have silly antics in one scene, and characters being brutally killed in others. The biggest flaw of all in this movie, though, is the pacing. The beginning strings so many different things together so fast to try and get all the pieces set, then when the tournament starts, the movie just stays there, with very few elements changing the pace at all, even temporarily. Overall, The Quest isn't horrible, but it's not really very good either, earning 3 copy and pasted characters out of 5. Some of the performances are entertaining, but the core of this movie is nothing special, and unfortunately for the rather good cast, it hurts it quite a lot. Thank you all for watching, I've been Shado, and remember, look out for The Quest in theaters 2016. Cue the gong.
pal. Scram.